Sports Blitz Live is on the air with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown run.
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Sit there and run his mouth.
Right.
I mean, it was.
Oh, it's terrible.
Shane Gillis, what he said about him was dead on. You know, what coach comes out there before the game to try to get him a little pub?
I know it. I know.
Outside of somebody like him.
Oh,
yeah,
here we
that
go.
was bad.
Here we go.
All right.
Good morning and welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. We're glad that all of you have joined us here on this Saturday morning, the Saturday before Christmas. And so Merry Christmas to all of our viewers and listeners out there, wherever it is that you might be tuning us in. We got a ton to talk about here on the show this morning. So we're glad that you've joined us here on the program. And Luke will be jumping in here with us a little bit later on, and excited to hear from what you guys are thinking out there. We'll take your comments, your questions, all that good stuff. We have a college football playoff game under our belt now, and it wasn't the best start for the college football playoff. I can promise you that. So just not a very interesting game at all. I mean, I thought the environment was awesome. The start, but the question mark surrounded whether Indiana deserved to be in the thing. And look, I know I saw one tweet last night that said, post selection, what a team does in the playoffs is no reflection on why somebody gets selected. And I can see that. I mean, the committee's got to defend themselves to a point on something like that, but we all question Indiana and who they had beaten this year. And they had played really one team, and Ohio State beat them pretty handily. And so their body of work was not really good. So they come into this game, and this is the second, obviously, real game that everybody felt like they played. And, defensively they hung in there. I'll give them credit, because they gave their it felt so much like watching Auburn. Your defense is keeping you in the game, but your offense, you have zero faith or hope that your offense is going to muster up anything to challenge the other team. So that's kind of why I saw it. I mean, Notre Dame wins the game. They move on to play Georgia. I mean, I'm thinking Georgia's sitting there looking at both those teams going, I don't really care who I play. Bring them on.
No, I don't think either of those teams can match up with Georgia from a line of scrimmage standpoint at all. And look, they'll have their opportunities. And Shane Gillis before the game, I thought a few of his comments were dead on. One of them is I do believe parity in college football has come back in the fold. And I think we can all applaud that. And he was making humor of Nick Saban being out of the game, and that has allowed parity to come back. And part of that is true, because if you watch Alabama play, none of us are terrified of playing them anymore like we were during his tenure. But back to Indiana, let's start there. Indiana, a line of scrimmage standpoint, does not match up with the SEC. Maybe they get there, but I doubt it. Athleticism was way, way behind even a Notre Dame team. We've talked over the last several weeks about Riley Leonard, and would he have made a big impact on Auburn compared to what we got with Peyton Thorne and others? I don't see it. I think he's okay. I think he is a much better athlete than Peyton Thorne and some others that we've had. I mean, his athleticism, you and I've known since he was at Fairhope High School. I've been making highlight.
He looks slow to me, though.
Yeah, but he's got enough athleticism to at least scare you, and you got to honor that he can pull the ball and run and make plays with it.
Peyton Thorne could. He could run, too. I mean, I didn't really see much of a difference, Randy. I'll be honest with you. I mean, their record's better, no doubt. And I think Peyton Thorne made some bad decisions, but Man, I thought I was watching the imps of each other, to be honest. Seriously, I didn't see a dime's difference.
Yeah, I don't know from a speed standpoint, but I can see it a little bit better with Riley Leonard than I get with Peyton Thorne this year. Now, the version of Peyton Thorne that we got last year, we didn't get this year. Now, was that a change up of offensive philosophy? Maybe so. But running back there for Notre Dame, very good. Reminds me a little bit of Tank Bigsby, Brett. I know that number probably is part of the reason that he does, but he's got explosiveness, and that 98-yard run, anybody that gets a 98-yard run in college football has got breakaway speed, because you've got to leave 3 or 4 secondary players, especially if you're inside your own 10-yard line. You got to outrun all of them to the end zone. So Notre Dame's got some pieces. I don't think they're anywhere near a championship caliber team. I think Georgia will drum them. I mean, like 2 or 3 scores, maybe even worse. I'd be surprised if not. The only way that I think Georgia stays in it, Brett, or Notre Dame hangs in there with Georgia, is if Georgia's quarterback plays poor. And Georgia's had moments this year where their quarterback play has been poor, and they've got a backup quarterback that will be starting in this football game. But that's not SEC football. And we've seen it in basketball right now too. It's not only football, it's in basketball. Did I see a stat where the SEC matched up with the other Power 4 conferences this year leading into SEC play is 40-4
I'm not
in games
surprised.
in basketball?
I saw, man, there's been a bunch of stats out about the SEC in basketball so far this year. And I was on Gary Harris's show yesterday morning, and we talked about it. I mean, he said he'd have Alabama ranked down around 5th or 6th right now in the SEC. And he said that's just because this conference is ridiculous. I mean, there's probably 11 legit teams that have a shot to make a run in March in this
Sweet
league.
16 run. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talk about the depth in this league in all sports, and it's never shown itself any more than it's showing it right now. It's not going to get any better for the rest of the country. I mean, everybody wants to play in this league. You know, the best of the best end up now. Oregon, they can buy people. Ohio State will get theirs. But, man, when you take out the sprinkling of those teams in the country, really it's all about competing in this conference. And if you can compete in this conference at the top level, you're always going to be in it, always.
Back to the Bows and the Joes that you get into your school, and we beat this like a dead horse over the last few years with NIL and transfer portal. But the rich keep getting richer, and I do see some semi-parity just because we've lost a few great coaches.
Sure.
But I don't see any real parity when it comes to the SEC matched up night in and night out with any of these conferences in most of the sports. And I see it getting further and further away now that you've added Texas and Oklahoma to the mix with the SEC. And, is that good? Is it bad? To me, back to our conversation all this week about the leverage point with the NCAA and the Power 4, I think that the SEC's got all the leverage. I mean, if you want to go fight, which I would, fight for us. If you're the commissioner of the SEC, fight our battles.
Right.
Because we are driving the bus right now. And when the SEC's playing as well as they are in each of these sports and dominating these sports as we bring Luke Robinson in, Luke, we're just really talking about the dominance of the SEC passing the eye test with what we saw last night.
Yeah.
I'll lead you in with that.
Yeah. First of all, this is why, and you guys, I know he writes for an Auburn site. Philip Marshall loves to talk about how much he hates the eye test. He just hates it. Just results matter. If results only matter, then we're going to keep getting some Indianas. If you watch that game last night and you think Indiana deserved to play for a national championship, I cannot do anything for you. That team is not very good. And you go, but they won 11 games or whatever. They played the Little Sisters of the Poor over and over and over again. Now, they got very lucky in their conference. Nothing they could do about that. They just got super lucky in a bloated conference. Their non-conference was so bad, it's disgusting. And to not penalize them for that is where the committee screwed up. And I've tweeted out several things about it last night, and some of them got some action. Some people are like, no, they got it right. You're just spurring because Alabama did. No, I'm not even speaking for Alabama. South Carolina would have been done better. Ole Miss would have been better. Miami would have been better. BYU would have been better. Alabama would have been better. And also, the precedent they set by letting SMU and Indiana in is we just don't care, just win your games. Okay, that's what I've been saying. And that let's just let everybody play a bunch of soup cans. But I don't think we want that. And everybody gets their underwear all bunched up because we say the truth that the SEC is better. It has been better. And also, boy, imagine this. When you play a tougher schedule, it makes the easier games on your schedule even tougher. For instance, when Alabama plays Georgia and the next week they play a scrappy Vanderbilt team that ended up going to a bowl game, by the way. It's not your traditional Vanderbilt team. Yeah, there's a better chance they might lose that game than, say, when Indiana plays Charlotte and then comes back with FIU and then comes back with Purdue. Yeah, that's not too hard. Yeah. And so all these people saying, we just got to give them a chance. We never know till they get a chance. Okay, we gave them a chance. They stunk it up. Can we now say, let's put the 12 best in there? Let's not put the 12 with the best records, because the records are important. It's all part of a grand tapestry. The records are important. You do need to win more than you lose for 100% sure. But you got to beat somebody.
Yeah, but the quality. Yeah, the quality has to be a part of the deal. I mean, it has to be an element, a major element in the deciding of who gets in and who doesn't. So, well, Luke, glad to have you on this morning. We're going to go ahead and take our first break here on TV and radio. Everybody stay tuned. We're just getting started on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Located in the heart of Alabama, Lake Martin is a destination of tasty delights.
Lots of butter.
There's no shortage of culinary genius.
Don't tell my secret.
From mom and pops
Everyone feels like family.
to lakeside dining.
We serve food, but we try to do it with purpose.
Pour it straight in the ear.
I'm Trey Foshi.
I'm a chef now.
And I'm going to try them all.
Dude, I can do this all day.
Because there's one thing locals around here know. Lake Martin's got bite.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Glad that you joined us out there, wherever it is that you're joining us this morning. A lot to talk about here, talking about, obviously, the college football playoff game, the first ever last night that kept everybody on the edge of their seat all night. I mean, I'm telling you, this thing, boy, this one will go down in history. For sure.
The only way this kept you on the edge of your seat was if you were standing on your seat with a noose around your neck waiting to jump so this thing would get over.
That's a pretty good description, no doubt about it. We got some comments coming in. We'll get to those. Romulus said Alabama should schedule like Indiana now. They are poor and can't buy players to compete like they used to. Easier schedules favor them since they are poor. We got a lot of
hey, Romulus, just FYI, Romulus, we're the fifth most valuable program in the country behind Texas, Texas A&M, Ohio State and Michigan. And everybody's just killing Ohio State and Michigan. And everybody's just killing Greg Byrne. I think what Greg Byrne did was what we have to do. I mean, y'all heard the stories made the rounds pretty good now. An SEC team came in trying to get one of Alabama's players who doesn't even start full time, by the way. And the name's not out there, but so I'm not going to say it, but another LSU team, not Auburn, came in and offered about $600,000. Then they doubled it. Then they took it to 1.8. And the guy didn't leave because I think he's an Alabama guy, whatever. And I think he also was like, okay, I think I can get developed here a little better, maybe. I don't know. But the point is, if everybody doesn't start getting a lot more money, this is what's going to happen. I mean, everybody could end up at Texas, Texas A&M, Indiana, Ohio State, and Michigan. You know, they do have what is it? Texas is worth about $1.3 billion or whatever. No, yeah, that's right, $1.3 billion. I mean, we don't want it. Nobody wants it like this. I'm all for the players getting paid, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Well, Luke, it comes down, and Randy, I'm going to let you jump in. I'm going to say one thing, Randy, I'll let you respond. To me, and Randy and I've talked about this on the portal for 3 days. On the podcast. Portal just comes out of my mouth now. I say it so dang much.
It comes out of your mouth.
Exactly. How about that? Portal to portal.
Word portal.
The portal is the problem. All of us are fine with pay for players, but the portal causes all of this negotiating and free agency every 6 months in college football and other sports too. You got to stop all this. You got to limit this. And Randy, I'll let you jump in.
Well, I didn't see it getting to this point a few years ago, but we were told by the collective and someone that was very active in the collective with Alabama, Luke, and the three of us were in a conversation with him, and he pointed to this is where it's going, and it's here. When we first started this thing, I thought it was going to be a true NIL, and you were going to need an agent, and you would go out there as Jalen Mbakwe, and you'd go to a company here that the University of Alabama is very important to, and you'd get them to give you $250,000 as some kind of benefit for you to do some marketing and advertising, name, image, and likeness for. But that's not what it is. Now it's salaries. I mean, the collectives must come up with the money to commit to you a salary. And if that's the salary, you need to, until you put something in place where they sign a contract at 18 years old, and I like your idea, Brett, even if it's just for 2 years. If you come out of high school and the salary, doesn't mean you can't cap out your NIL. Jalen Mbakwe should still be able to, if he had an All-American year as a freshman, to go out there and get another $1 million or $2 million through some type of agent setup that is true NIL, but not collective money. Because collective money is like if you and I went into our overhead budget, Luke, and decided that we were just going to add on a salary or continue to add on new employees. That's the problem I have with it, is the lack of a contract, the lack of any term that's set on that contract. But Brett's point this week is give it 2 years. At 2 year point, either that school ponies up and decides that they want him bad enough to give him the money that his leverage points giving him out there on the free market, or go somewhere else. Go to Oregon. Go let Phil Knight buy him a team. We've all heard it. We know that it's Oregon that's stepping in here trying to get some of these guys. And another point you made, then I'll kick it to Luke, but another point you made this week, Brett, is what's keeping a multi-billionaire from saying, I'm 86, 87 years old, and I'm going out there and I'm giving you unlimited resources, and I'm going to personally go buy the top 50 players in the country. And I'm going to make it to where you can't say no to this, which Luke just said Jalen Mbakwe somehow walked away from $1.8 million. Is that the number?
I didn't say it was Mbakwe, though.
Well, who is it?
Well, I mean, that's
come on. I mean,
it was somebody who didn't start. It was on the offensive side, but someone who didn't start all the time.
Because Mbakwe got offered a 7-figure deal, didn't he?
Mbakwe got offered big money too. Yes.
Okay, we'll keep going, Luke. Give us your thoughts on a contract or how you fix this.
I'm not sure what the answer is. I know that we can't get to the answer when we have zero leadership, and there is zero leadership from the NCAA and has been for years, and everybody is now capitalizing on it. And I say everybody, I mean the players essentially. The pendulum used to be in control of the schools and of the coaches, and now the pendulum is swung so far in the direction of the players that it's still out of whack, but it's not good in another direction. We have to do something about this, and we keep saying this, and nobody keeps doing anything, and the stories keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm just, again, we do all this stuff with college football, and we do podcasts, we do everything, and if it weren't for all that, I'm telling you, I'm not saying this is a threat because nobody'd care, but boy, it's really hard to love the thing like I used to love it.
Luke, let me say this. I said this to Randy this week. When you take the passion and the emotion away from something, you kill it. And all of us are very passionate and emotional about college. I don't have that near to the level I used to. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. After the Iron Bowl this year, and I talked to an Alabama player, a former Alabama player was at the game that was on the field, and he said he went by both tunnels before the game, and he said, you wouldn't have thought you were playing in an Iron Bowl. He said both teams looked disinterested. On the field, both teams looked disinterested outside of one fist fight that got over into the sideline. I was kind of glad to see it because it gave us something to yell about. I was like, well, at least maybe we'll turn this thing into a UFC and somebody will beat the hell out of the other one, because the play on the field was just terrible. I mean, I was not into the game. And the first time I remember in my life after the game was over, we were at somebody's house watching the game. We cut it off. We just moved on. There was no, sulling because your team lost or this, that, and the other. But that's where this has gotten. And before we go to break on TV, I want to say one more thing. You said Alabama's worth 1.8 whatever billion.
No. Less than $1 billion.
I'm just saying. Let me tell you who don't care about that is the fans that are having to be propped up and getting letters about you're going to raise your dadgum season ticket prices. Oh, and by the way, it costs this to go and this to go, and you got to park, and now you got to bring your kids. They don't give a crap what the franchise is worth. And
I'm 100% with you.
So, I mean, I'm tired of it, and everybody else out here is tired of it too. And so if they don't get somebody, and I don't know who is, I sound like an owl over here, I don't know who is going to step up and make a decision. It's not going to get fixed. And if they don't step in, it's going to kill this sport, man. It's going to kill it dead. Let's get to break. We keep this going on social media. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Sunshine Heating and Air. I knew where this talk was going to get to with us three this morning. And it's the same talk Randy and I have been on repeat all week on the Auburn Blitz podcast. And it's going to continue to suck us in and talk about this daggum portal and NIL stuff. And I said it earlier this week, I don't think the NIL is the problem. I think the portal's the problem, because that is what allows players to continuously go on the free agent market every 6 to 7 months in college athletics. You know, this portal window's about to close. Well, you get through spring, it opens again. Now you got to do this all over again, and you got to get your team ready to play the season. And you're trying to, somebody leaves, now you got to fill this hole with just a limited amount of people that might be getting in the portal. This thing's a disaster.
You're punished for making the college football playoff too, because while everybody else is sitting there just, you know, they're on the back channels calling I've heard several folks talk about how, yeah, you know, Alabama, Auburn, other teams are out there trying to reach out to team players that are on CFP teams right now. And how would you like to be a coach dealing with that? Like, you might not even know about all of it, but the parts you do know, you're like, hey, I'm trying to get these guys focused to win something. And so I don't want them taking a bunch of phone calls about, you know, hey, they're making 1.2 here. So, but if they go there, they can make 1.5, you know? It's just, but again, it's hard for us to blame just the players when the schools are taking all the advantage of it too. I mean, you know, Auburn's got 14, 15 guys coming in through the portal. Alabama's got, you know, probably, I don't know how many they got coming in the portal. It's not as many, but they might after a bit. But there are a lot of things. Ole Miss is just the portal king. That's how they've decided they're going to allocate their NIL money. They're just going to do less on the high school side and spend their big bucks on the portal. And I mean, I guess I'm just saying, I want to go back to something Justin Clayton said on here about, well, at least, yeah, there's some teams that don't deserve to play for a title, but at least nobody's undefeated gets left out. Look, I would rather have somebody undefeated left out, including Alabama, that we can talk about, that makes sense, rather than have to listen to people justify getting Indiana in there when they played Charlotte and Florida International and Hartsfield and BWI and Birmingham Airport over here, and they played France A&M. that, I don't want to have to justify these joke teams getting in anymore. I'd rather say, okay, yeah, Auburn and Utah, maybe they got not hosed, but they were left out. There were two teams, there were two spots, and yes, Auburn and Utah were left out, and that's unfortunate. And it sucks for an Auburn fan, sucks for a Utah fan, I get it. But I'm telling you, when we look at this and we go, man, everybody was telling us how awesome this was going to be. And the first game we get, Indiana can't do anything. That stinks for the college football playoff.
Randy?
Well, I agree. I thought the atmosphere last night, I thought the Friday night setup, especially outside of the high school football season, was fun. I thought the game day atmosphere that they created yesterday was really a unique concept. I hate that the game didn't match up with all of the hoopla around it, because I like the 12-team playoff if you put the best 12 teams in there. If last night Alabama is the 10 seed going to Notre Dame, I think Alabama beats their brakes. I mean, I think they beat their brains in up there. I believe.
Or Ole Miss or USC or South Carolina.
So if you get it right.
Or Miami.
If you get it right, then I love the 12-team playoff. But if you concede that a lot of these lesser than programs deserve to be in it, then you're not going to get matchups that are intriguing or that are deserving. And you can't convince me that any of these other conferences match up year in and year out with what the SEC is putting out there with new 18 teams. I mean, you lose two or three games in this conference right now.
Hey, what would be watched more, guys? Not to cut you off, Randy. A 8-team SEC playoff or 12-team SEC playoff, or this? I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I know what I'd watch.
And see,
I think nationally, you need that national audience to go and sell to, and to really consider it a national championship. But I'm with you, Brett. I hear what you're saying.
I'm with Brett. And y'all know I love Justin Clayton like a cousin I never knew. But Indiana, he says Indiana was the lower seed. The Cinderella didn't make it through. FSU deserved at least a chance last year. First of all, if you think that FSU, the Alabama-Michigan game was great, Alabama lost, but the game was pretty good, two competitive teams. FSU showed us through the 2.5 games, they don't have a quarterback. You can't win without a quarterback. Then Justin says, well, Indiana's a Cinderella. See, Justin's a Cinderella guy. He loves the little guy. Well, that's great in college basketball when there's 68 teams. There are a few little guys out there. But when you have 12 teams, we don't have room for any little guys, man. We don't have room for Cinderellas. We got all good-looking women over here. Cinderella, who's over there sweeping up, God bless her, we need her. But we need the good-looking maximum cover models. That's what we need. And if we're only going to have 12 teams, if we want to do 68 teams, yeah, we got room for Cinderella and Rachel and Franny and Gretchen. We got room for all of them. But if we only have 12, we need the good-looking ones, please.
Yeah. I don't really have anything I can rebut on that.
And he says, should Georgia not be in without their QB? Again, Justin, pay attention for a second and listen to me. Georgia, their quarterback got knocked out in the SEC title game, and their backup quarterback led them to the win. He's the one that led them down there. He's the one that helped keep the thing going. Florida State put a backup quarterback in there, and if we didn't see that he had arms, we'd question if he had arms because they couldn't throw a forward pass. That's the difference. I think you have to take some of this stuff into context. You can't just put it on a blanket and say, well, FSU lost their quarterback and Georgia did, so neither one can be in. Georgia's backup quarterback was really pretty good. Gunnar Stockton's pretty good. FSU put somebody back there, and I can't remember who the hell he was. Can you?
No, I don't remember his name, about like I couldn't remember Charlie Baker. I do now because Randy and I have talked about Charlie Baker for about 2 days now, but had no clue who the guy was that led the NCAA till here recently. That tells you how bad that is.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody had said, have y'all heard what Charlie Baker said? I'd be, was he work over at JR's or something? Who's Charlie Baker? I don't know who that is.
Well, we go Charlie Baker right to the next break, and then we want everybody to hang on. Got comments still coming in. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice
Somebody
Motors.
says if
With our
Alabama
all-star
was gonna
lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes. They're installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Doors be locked.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Glad that you joined us out there. Got the comments coming in. Toolman said, "I'm with Jimmy Stein, pulling against anybody who played a soup can schedule." Ed said, "Greg Sankey should not be getting a pass. The most powerful man in college football. He should have been at Ward Emanuel House telling him to pound sand. The SEC will not do this anymore." Justin's going to rebut there. Luke says, "I was saying that in response to your Cinderella talk, how it's not fair that a Cinderella could go far in the basketball and other tourneys. This is a good thing the Cinderella didn't make it for." So
I know those words, but that sentence didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm trying to understand.
I think you and Justin need to get on a call. I mean,
Justin and I can just Zoom.
Yeah, y'all are poor. Yeah, this conversation's carrying out across all airwaves this morning. Kelly said, "Take Notre Dame's name off the record. Their schedule not much better. They played one team in the top 25, and that was Army." Randy, I'll let you.
Well, they don't pass the eye test. Last night, watching Notre Dame play, there are some good pieces, but for the most part, they don't pass the eye test. And I'm going to keep beating this dead horse. Alabama, South Carolina, or Ole Miss would have been a much better matchup. And if I had to guess, if any of the three teams that I just mentioned went to South Bend last night, they'd have won the football game. I think that there's better Bows and Joes on any of those three teams. They just go through this gauntlet of a schedule. And I do want to tee Luke up now that we've got him on the program with us, though, Brett, because you and I have talked about Luke a good bit over the last couple of weeks and some of the comments that he's made. But I agree with him wholeheartedly that if you're going to change the reasoning for the committee to put you in or keep you out, and part of that doesn't have to do with your out-of-conference schedule, then give everybody a chance to go back and change their schedule. I mean, because if the rules change, you've got to give everybody a chance to play or abide by those rules. And I know, Brett, that you've said that that committee could make different decisions next year based off of whatever that committee decides they deem most important. That's a problem. We need to know right now what you think is the most important, because I don't want Auburn, who's not a very good football program right now, but we're hopeful that with the guys that we've got coming in, we're going to be. Do you think I want Auburn to take a brand new quarterback over to Baylor to start the season next year? No. I want to play the Sisters of the Poor, Luke. I like a couple of,
or whatever y'all played last year.
Whatever we can do to get a couple of games under our belt and then have to go on the road, my gosh, to Oklahoma and Texas A&M in 2 of the first 5 games. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go change that? And I know maybe you can't change that, Luke, but it feels to me that if you're going to change, I agree with you. Why can't you?
We did it during COVID.
On the fly.
Everybody told us all my whole adult and child life that we can't. These schedules are made years in advance and they're rock solid. You can't, unbreakable. And then COVID comes around, everybody goes, well, y'all just want to play a 10-team SEC schedule? And everybody goes, sure, why not? And, in that particular year, see, there wasn't much Alabama could do. Alabama played 10 of the toughest teams that were out there. We didn't get to play the least good teams that particular year. We got sort of short end of the stick, but everybody did because it was 10 SEC teams, right? And so what I'm saying is picture Indiana playing Auburn's or Alabama's schedule next year. Just picture that. Picture Indiana going to Baylor, and then picture Indiana playing at Oklahoma. And everybody loves to jank on Alabama for saying that you shouldn't have lost to Oklahoma. They're 73rd ranked. That would have been one of Indiana's crown achievements if they had just gone to Sooner Land and not gotten blown out. That would have been the crown jewel in their helmet. So I'm just telling you, the schedule needs to matter. And I don't know why we're so fascinated with underdogs winning all this thing when, look, we don't have room for these kind of underdogs in here. Look, and when you get to 4 losses, look, I've always said, Justin, here's another thing that I said. I didn't want expansion because we're going to start fighting about teams with 3 and 4 losses. That's exactly what we're doing. The problem is I didn't know we'd be fighting about teams with 3 and 4 losses against teams with 1 loss because they played a 2A schedule. That's what I didn't know. And now that I see it, I go, oh, my God, we have too many teams.
I'm going to be honest about the schedule thing, and to make – again, I think we've all talked about it ad nauseum, and the point I was making, obviously, this last couple of weeks was, Alabama didn't lose a non-conference game. They lost 3 conference games, which if you were going to move forward with cupcake schedule stuff, it still wouldn't have helped them, right? So
this year.
But that's what I'm saying. In the present, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
All right, I'm for still playing tough teams look, again, nobody wanted to watch that last night once we got it. And I'll be honest with you, and Randy knows this more than anybody. I quit going to the Auburn Ball State games a long time ago. I can't go to those games anymore, man. And I know that may sound elitist, and it may sound like, well, you're not a true – no, it's not that at all. I literally fell asleep one time in my seat on the edge and almost fell out in the aisle because, the game was so disinterested. But we went because we had the tickets, and it was like, look, I looked at my wife. I said, I'm not coming back to this anymore. I'm like, I'm just not because, I'll give my tickets away to somebody that can't go to the game normally or whatever. I don't want to watch that anymore. And now that all these teams have all this money, and all these players getting paid all this money. I dang sure don't want to go watch them play, Morehead State or Mercer or anything like that anymore. I'm still all for going. I'm excited about Baylor. Like, would I be excited if Auburn were starting the season with Timbuktu? No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, that's a win. Whatever. I still, and I think it makes you better too. It at least gives you a barometer on who you are as a team.
I hear you 100%. I would rather do it the way that Alabama's doing it next year. They play Wisconsin and FSU. I'm here for it.
Right.
Let me go to Tallahassee and experience that. That'll be fun. But what the problem becomes is if the committee doesn't take any of that into account, then what is your reasoning for doing it? Because frankly, you're losing money. If you do a home and home, you're losing money.
Well, I think we just discovered the problem, guys. The committee is the problem. They're the ones that you get 12 random people in a room. The next year, the next 12 may have a different set of standards and mindset. I don't know what they're thinking.
Look, Brett, to me, it really is. I hate to put it this way, but it's the way things were going politically too. Everybody's got to have a chance. In the military, we got to let everybody, no matter what they do, what they believe, what they dress like, what they act like, we got to let everybody. And then, we look in our military and we see some of the folks in leadership, and I won't go where I want to go with this thing just because I'm not trying to offend anybody.
Everybody's going there, Luke. Without
you know where I'm going.
Just go ahead.
And guess what? Now Indiana's the one in the playoffs wearing a skirt. And we're like, hey, we need you playing good football. We want this to be good. We all understand blowouts are going to happen. Blowouts have happened in the BCS. Blowouts have happened in everything. We can't control all that. But what I saw last night was such a difference between two teams. And the irony is Notre Dame didn't look that good either, but they looked a world better than Indiana. And so what I'm saying is, now in my head, I'm thinking if Indiana had to play Mississippi State schedule, let's just say that, Indiana wouldn't go to a bowl game. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I'm tired of the bleeding hearts telling me everybody deserves a chance when not everybody's fighting the same war.
I totally agree with you. And Brett, just to rebuttal what you're saying, because yes, I would love, I'm way happier to watch Auburn play Baylor than Alabama A&M to start the season like we had this year. I'm all for that. But what's the goal? As an Auburn fan, my goal going into every season is to make a playoff. We haven't made one yet. So can we just get in a playoff? And if getting in a playoff is harder by going on the road to play a team that there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to lose the opening game of the season out of conference, and it keeps Auburn from making the playoff at the end of the year, if they have 2 or 3 losses and they lost one of those out of conference, then I don't want to do it. Because again, my goal is to make the playoff, not to watch a competitive game to start the season. It's to be in this thing where Auburn can be talked about with these other 12 teams, and we haven't had that.
But then, I'm going to say, I agree with 100% with what y'all are saying. I do, and I know we got to get to our break, but my point is that if you have to schedule a bunch of soup cans and then hope you get through your conference schedule, did you deserve to be in a playoff anyway? It's kind of what Luke's been saying.
I think you do. I think you do.
I'm just saying I don't in the big scheme of things, because I'm saying that I think the system's broken. All right, we got to get to a break. When we come back, we'll just keep talking about this too on social. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
Hello, this is Little Mo right here with you from DLR Auto Sales. At DLR we have multiple sedans and SUVs. Come see us at 33445 U.S. Highway 280, Childersburg, Alabama 35044. Call us at 256-267-3257. Let's make a deal, people. Our down payment is based on $500 down. With the approval of credit, we make it happen. We work with you. We got the choice for you, and we make the right deal.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, is looking for the next hometown hero. Hometown heroes could be first responders, public service workers, community leaders, pastors, community volunteers, or anyone who is making a difference in your hometown. Submit your nominations now online at myhscu.com. And if your nominee is selected, they will get a $100 Visa cash card and a certificate of appreciation from Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Illoway Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Illoway Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Illoway Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rates. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekends. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine Heating and Air. Last segment here in hour number one. I think what Randy's saying, and I've said on the last three weeks, is that the SEC, and I said this earlier, the SEC shouldn't have to do what other conferences do because our conference schedule is way harder than other conferences' schedule. So maybe they have to go out and get other teams to play them. But Randy makes the point of, you know, if like for Auburn, you got to play Alabama and Georgia built in as your natural rivals. Well, they're normally 1 or 2 almost every year, or at least in the top 5. Well, you play. Who else is playing 2 top 5 teams in the same year every single year? Nobody. So Randy's right. We don't have to go out and prove. We don't have to go to Texas and play Baylor to prove that we got some kind of team that deserves to be in the playoffs. Now, Indiana. Now that they've seen this and the committee goes, we're not ever going to – if the committee said we're not ever going to do this again, they may go, okay, we got a bunch of soup cans on our conference schedule. We better go out and get a couple, 3 teams outside and play them and win a couple of those to prove that we deserve to be in. Randy, I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm going to kick it quickly to Luke because we got his last segment right here. Appreciate Luke being on with us, but I'm going to keep beating this dead horse unless we're told – what the committee expects and what's important to the committee, then how do we make decisions based off of whatever our goal is? Because I'm going to keep saying Auburn's goal for me as a fan is to get into the playoffs. So anything that makes that harder to happen, I want out of it. And it may sound like I'm trying to get out of games that are playing lesser than.
No, you're just playing the game. You're just playing the game.
I'm just saying, tell me what the goal is.
That's everybody's goal now. And what they did, and again, because we expanded the playoffs, that is everybody's goal now. And everybody thought we just expand the playoffs and everything just rides along hunky-dory. Again, people like me were saying, okay, you're going to devalue conference championships. Well, we're not going to do that because we're going to give them buys. We've seen year one how dumb that is. It is just so unfathomably dumb to let Boise State and Arizona State have buys that you can't defend it. It's dumb. We know it's dumb. So we got to fix that. So, and I'm fine with knocking the kinks out. I'm also fine with the College Football Playoff Committee acting like a living, breathing thing, kind of like the U.S. Constitution, where it's laid out, but there's some tiny room to understand nuance and how things change. Okay, I'm fine with that. But and I'm happy if it works out for Alabama, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Miami to be the guinea pigs this year and go, okay, we kind of screwed up. We should not have rewarded people for not playing anybody. We will change that in the years going forward. It sucks for me right now, just like it sucked for Auburn in Utah when they got left out in 2004, but it led to better change. It led to, okay, we're going to do a 4-team thing, right? So it led to some change. So this time maybe we're the guinea pig. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But make sure that you fix this. Don't do this again. Don't do it. If you see a team has not beaten a top 25 opponent all year long, and the one team they played with a pulse beat their brains in, don't reward them. Show them that next year you got to do better. That's the basketball committee usually does that. I know Alabama's been left out because they say your schedule stunk. Well, we won 22 games. Yeah, but your schedule stunk. You beat 20 of those teams you beat, had 4 players, and 2 of them were missing toes. So, yeah, you beat them, but they stunk. And so next year, guess what Alabama did? They upgraded their schedule. They got in. And with a lesser record, by the way. So that's where I think I can live with this. If don't tell me you're going to put Purdue in next year if they have this same run and they have this same batch of terrible wins. Just don't do that. Indiana got the breaks. Go for it. SMU got the breaks. Go for it. It doesn't need to happen anymore. We got to fix that.
Now, I think what we've all summed up here is that we all believe strength of schedule should matter. But if the committee doesn't think it should, then we should just go the easiest route possible. That's the summation of all of it.
Yes.
And so, again, it all lies in what the committee decides to or to not do. And they get in a room and they somehow figure out what they think is best for everybody, and it ends up being this. And so maybe there should be a disclaimer. Maybe there should be a set of standards that shows what the committee's going to look at in rank order of importance of you getting in the playoffs. And if you had that set of guidelines to go by, I don't think anybody could complain.
2 more things, Brett. Number one, they've talked about bringing computers back in or whatever. I'd sort of be okay with this. And I mean, I know it's a lot of trial and error, but the other thing is when we expanded the playoffs, and again, I was saying this, a lot of people said I was crazy. I said we're going to devalue rivalries and we're going to devalue conference championships. And I think it's very clear. Alabama-Georgia was one of the best games you'll ever watch, right? And Georgia fans keep saying, ha, y'all are home for the playoffs. And Alabama fans say, we beat y'all. And Georgia's like, we don't care. And I'm on Georgia's side on that. I would much rather lose to my arch rival, get in the playoffs and go nana boo boo, than beat my arch rival and sit my butt at home. You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's something that's we got to figure out a way to make this thing better, because we're, like you said, Brett, if you lose nothing has the passion of college football. Nothing. No sport on earth outside of soccer in Brazil. And we are going to screw it up because we have to make sure Indiana gets a shot.
It is well on its way, guys. I'm going to tell you this before we go to our top of the hour break and let you get out, Luke, is that it dropped precipitously this year. I mean, from the beginning of the football season to where we are right now, when you look at August to December, the amount of disinterest from rabid fans is eye-opening to me. I've talked to some rabid fans that go, man, it don't mean anything anymore to me. I mean, it has sucked the passion out of these fans, and all this talk of money all the time just wears you down. And you're like, man, this is nothing but a begging from grown men.
It's true.
It's all it is. And you don't even talk about the games anymore. You just talk about how much money you're going to raise.
I'll leave y'all with something to talk about after I'm gone. I wonder if the committee just said, hey, we're not going to do this week by week thing anymore, because everybody wanted that for transparency, right? But I think when you start ranking somebody in the middle of the week and you put Indiana in there, all of a sudden you're like, well, we can't move Indiana out now because we've already had them at number 7 or number 6 or number 8 or whatever it was. And they tried to punish them by putting them at 10. That wasn't enough. And I think maybe the committee just comes out and goes, look, we ain't telling y'all nothing. We're going to meet and we're going to do our thing, but we ain't telling y'all any rankings until the final rankings come out. Because I think if they had done that, I think it'd be easier to say, we're not putting SMU or Indiana in. They'd say, we looked at their schedule and they have played nobody. They played Guam, Guam Tech, and Guam A&M 3 times each. And then they played Ohio State and got their brains beat in. So we can't put them in. I think that'd be easier. The rankings do create some bias.
Always have. So that's an interesting perspective. All right, we're going to the top of the hour break. We'll let Luke slide out. Luke, have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll be back for the second hour right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Located in the heart of Alabama, Lake Martin is a destination of tasty delights.
Lots of butter.
There's no shortage of culinary genius.
Don't tell my secret.
From mom and pops
Everyone feels like family.
to lakeside dining.
We serve food, but we try to do it with purpose.
Pour it straight in the ear.
I'm Trey Foshi.
I'm a chef now.
And I'm going to try them all.
Yeah, I can do this all day.
Because there's one thing locals around here know. Lake Martin's got bite.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
We're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. New full-size GMC Sierras discounted up to $12,000 off. GMC Terrains with a roomy cabin and pro safety discounted up to $7,250 off. Enjoy the holidays with no payments until springtime. Choose from 600 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Everyone to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Hour number 2 here of the program. We've had a lot of great comments, had a lot of great banner back and forth here in the first hour that it completely got consumed, by the way, by the daggone portal and this playoff talk and how bad the college football playoff game was last night. As we start hour number 2, I know we got some more people joining us that probably didn't watch us in the 7 o'clock hour. So I just feel like I'm going to repeat, Randy, every time we come on the air, and we're on the air every single day with our podcast. And these are the topics that we're talking about. And, you know, podcast all the way over all the way around this country are talking about the same thing. And as Luke exited just a minute ago, and you and I'll talk about this in the second hour, and we talked about it in the podcast this week, man, that the passion is rapidly leaving college football fans right now because of the way this thing is done. And if they don't reel this thing in, man, if they don't, fans are going to stop showing up. That's when the rubber's going to hit the road. When Greg Byrne and John Cohen issue decrees like they did this week, we got to have more money from y'all, not our boosters, but from y'all. The average fan that brings their family to the game and is already spending bukus of money. Now I'm asking for more because we got to pay our players and we got to put a tax on our tickets so that players can get that money. Randy, you and I, and we're not going to drop names, and because we talk to a lot of people about different players, but we know a couple of players what they were making, what they're making a month, man. Man, are you kidding me? And that's just one guy on the roster. I'm like, and I'm proud for whoever that gets the money. I mean, I'm not bitter toward them. I am bitter that, man, what we do every day, and we get out here and bust our rear end and have businesses, and we don't even sniff that kind of income in a month. And they're just handing it to them. And here's the deal. You're saying, well, they're getting it in return for their services. Well, they're also getting a scholarship. They're also getting an opportunity to go to college and get an education, which we've diminished completely. Like it doesn't even matter anymore because we don't even talk about it. But what are these kids going to do when their 3 or 4 year run in college is up? I hope they saved that money and invested it because most of them aren't going to make the NFL. So if they're blowing through that kind of money and they get to the end of that little run, who's out there giving them advice on what to do? What kind of career are they going into at that point?
All of those things I agree with you, but it's not where my money goes. That doesn't bother me. What really bothers me is you don't have any kind of contract set up to make them adhere to any specific rules. And I said it in the first segment of the first hour. You know, the way that I saw this NIL working out is not what's happened. You know, now there's this gray area collective out there that's outside of the view of the college system, and they've got this little collective over there, and they pay salaries to players. They don't go and create name, image, and likeness. We need to get rid of that.
Because it's deceptive. It's not what it is.
That's a joke. That is not what it is at all. But if you're going to pay them a salary, then they need to sign a contract. Well, I know legally signing a contract may be the issue that they have right here. They may not think they can go and win that. Well, if they can't, man, all of us that sit here as talking heads and talk about this, until someone is a true leader and speaks for the whole, which is the Power Four, speaks for the whole and tries to make some changes where there is at least not every time you turn around a Diego Pavia decision's not being made that's going to extend this thing out 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I mean, hell, if you're going to let JUCO players play 2 years and then come in and maybe play 4 years, but also have a red shirt built into those 4 years, I mean, you're going to get kids that are
7 years,
25, 26, 27-year-old seniors in college. Is that what you want? I mean, like, how many degrees do you want to get? Because if you are going to school and you're 25, 26, 27 years old.
And you have to be enrolled, what are you taking?
You should be you should demand that they have their doctorate by the end of that. If you're going to let them be in that much. I mean, really. And we do have kids that really are taking advantage of this.
Grad school, sure.
Going grad school and getting their masters. And, you know, I've watched this past week. I mean, Bruce Pearl, one, is the best coach Auburn's ever had in any sport. And there's no complaining or no argument that I feel can be had with that. But I watched the way his guys are graduated. And, man, I really appreciate it. And I see posts going out there, you know, when they end up on a Saturday morning game in Atlanta, and then
they come back for graduation.
They come back for graduation that afternoon, and then I see Bruce on press conference saying we've got 2 more that are graduating in the spring. Man, I applaud that, but do you hear that anymore?
Don't hear a word about it, and that's the problem, Randy. I mean, we've diminished and the things that used to be important that we used to hold high as standards of success in society. It still should be a priority for people to move forward and get an education. It may not look the same. You may not go to a 4-year college, but a 2-year degree, in a trade or something. But you going and getting a credential and saying, I'm qualified to be in this field, and I did this, and I went through this to get qualified. Ain't nobody hiring me and you to come weld their trailer, Randy. I ain't calling us this morning going, hey, man, I got a busted trailer over here. I need y'all to come over here and weld it. We'll go over and weld it. It ain't going to work out too well, okay? But you have to go through a credential to get trained to do that. Well, we've diminished all that now because everything is about money. We're getting the cart before the horse. And, yeah, the end goal is to have a great career and have a great lifestyle where you can go buy the things and provide for a family. But now that you're just throwing tons of money at a kid with no regulations or no boundaries has put this thing in a really precarious situation.
And somebody's got to speak up.
We've devalued what we've always said was important, Randy. We've devalued all that like it doesn't mean anything anymore.
And I brought this up in the first hour, and maybe we'll go to a different topic, Brett, because me and you have beat this dead horse all week. But how does Title IX fit into this?
Nobody's even talking about it, man.
And me with a daughter, let me sound like the lib here. Me with a daughter, I'm very interested to hear where Title IX fits into this. Because at a certain point, when you change all of the verbiage that's being put into these contracts and how they're able to use this funding within the university, there are going to be sports that go away. Now,
absolutely.
You and I have a mutual friend. I won't say the name, but we've got a mutual friend, got a daughter playing in South Alabama right now, just signed a full ride to Southern Miss University to play soccer. And I'm so applauding that. I'm so proud for him and his family. He was a tremendous athlete too. Had all of his schooling paid for. I don't know if every bit of it was, but he played sports all the way through school. Real proud for him. You and I have kids that are interested in sports, and we know other friends of ours that have kids, and they're not all boys. They're girls. So I'm wholeheartedly feel like I'm a leftist lib trying to defend women's athletics sitting up here.
But they're not defending it anymore.
Nobody's how have we gotten to the point where common sense is not even being discussed anymore with this current setup?
Well, it's just all clouded because of money, and they've paid. It's like you're not paying attention to any rules or any type of laws anymore. It's just about in the here and now and what kind of deal.
Opportunities are going to go away.
Yeah, let me get
don't fix this.
Let me get the TV break. Let's go ahead and take that break, Russ, and then we'll come back with more here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hi, this is Brian Boss with Bryce Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bryce Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bryce Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bryce Motors.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SDC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
Everyone, the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill, Sunshine, Air. We got about 45 minutes left on the show today. Got a bunch of good comments coming in. You know, the problem, Randy, again, we talked this thing to death. We're not going to have a solution to this, but why is it so hard for a committee to say these are the rules and say, because we all act like this is unfixable. Power 4, form a committee, say we're not doing but one portal window. You can go in and you can get your NIL money from other places like it was designed. The university can pay you whatever they want to pay you, and they feel like you're worth up front. And then after 2 years, you can reevaluate. You can get in the portal one time, or you can stay at your school and finish out your education. But we got to start going back to building and putting these standards in place. When was the last time you heard anybody was academically ineligible? Has anybody been talking about that? How much of our programs in the last 15 years were consumed by players at Auburn and Alabama? We were concerned maybe not getting in and maybe not being on the roster because they didn't have the grades. That's not even
co-route to begin with.
Not even talked about anymore. Not even it's like the chains. I said that the other day. It's like the chains in football. Nobody measures for first downs anymore. So why are they even over there? I mean, you just look over there and at the sideline and see that, oh, it's first down. Let's move on. I don't see this sport. This sport, you're supposed to advance in life. Things are supposed to get better with time, and you're supposed to learn from mistakes. And you're supposed to correct those mistakes and make the sport or make the business or whatever better. This is not the direction college athletics are going. This thing is completely upside down right now. And I'm not just talking about college football. I'm talking about what you were just saying with women's athletics, with Title IX and how all this plays out. Do we just not care anymore? Does that not matter anymore?
It's the wildest thing in the world to me, how that's not discussed more. It really is. It's the thing that you and I probably discuss the least, but at the end of the day, they are the ones that's going to be losing a lot of opportunities based off of the decisions that are currently being made. And I don't see that changing. It's not the money grab that they want. I mean, these universities hopefully are into educating our kids that go there, Brett, and I know that they do in a lot of regards, but for the most part, it's a money grab too. And build more buildings and spend more money and raise tuition and
this is too capitalist up here, Randy. I want to make this clear. I mean, we want it, but look, I've said this, and you know I've said this. because I've been the one kind of off to the side trying to figure out a way to argue with you guys on this thing. I want people to make as much as they're worth too, but you cannot go through life without rules and regulations and laws. We have to have laws in society to hold people accountable. If not, you just got people running around doing whatever. And look, and you're only as authoritative as what people give you the power. All right, the people make the laws in the country, and the government enforces the laws, right? Isn't that how it works? All right, the NCAA, I'm not trying to defend the NCAA here because they've kind of made their own bed, but the NCAA has been rendered powerless through the court system. Every time they've tried to hold somebody accountable, the court system cut their legs out from under them. So now they're sitting here because James called yesterday on our Auburn Blitz show and couldn't have said it any better. And I mean, we've bashed Charlie Baker, but what can Charlie Baker really do, man? Now, I don't think he's a strong leader, period. You don't either. But he really doesn't have any power anymore because the court systems have ruled every time they try to make some kind of decision, they go against
him. And his board saying, we don't need you to go up there and be a strong leader and make decisions like that. You know, see, you know, Kennedy's response to him on transgender athletes and biological males playing against biological females, and the NCAA not stepping up and saying that, no, we're not going to let that happen. Y'all do whatever you want, but we're not going to let that one happen. He can't do that. So the feel that you get is that he's just going directly with what's not going to hurt him in the courts. So you're exactly right.
You know, Kennedy said it yesterday, and if people watched it, they heard me, and we laughed till we cried yesterday, but it's the truth. Maybe some people watching. I mean, you know, when the defund the police thing came about in this country, and everybody goes, that's the dumbest crap I've ever heard of in my life. But people were fighting it, and police were getting a bad name. And look, I know one bad apple ruins the bunch. I get it. It can hurt an organization.
We're not arguing that.
No, there's not. But most policemen are out there doing the right thing, trying to protect society. So John Kennedy and his political ad, he was just as blunt as he could be. Looked in the camera and said, "Well, all right, if you don't like cops because they're cops, next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead. See how much help you get out of them." I mean, it's the truth. It's what you want to say about this NCAA thing and how screwed up it is. It's like, let's all take a step back and look at some common sense. Just got a text, and they said, buddy of mine said, need Tuberville and Saban to get together and lead on our recommendations on the portal because it makes perfect sense. I mean, I wish look, we're nobodies in the scheme of making rules for college football, but I really wish they would listen to what we've been saying this week on our shows.
Well, I think those two know. And I've watched both of them talk about it. They don't need mine and your recommendations on this. They've got recommendations they can give. What I agree with the comment that you had on the text, Brett, is you've got to get somebody. I don't care if it's not one of those two, but somebody with a backbone. And the NCAA and the Power Four has got to give them the power to go and speak for the rest of us. And it would help if you were ingrained in it, understood it from the inside. The reason I keep going with Nick Saban, Auburn fans may not like Nick Saban to be in that leadership role, but I think it's going to take someone that is strong enough to go and fight the fight. And right now, Charlie Baker's not it, and anybody else they put in front for the NCAA definitely hasn't been that. And unless these schools are happy with the direction that it's going in, then stay down this path. But if they're not happy, they better go find a leader, and they better pay him a Google of money, because that's what it's worth to all of us and everyone that's involved in this thing. If they don't get it corrected, a lot of it's going to go away. And it may not be Auburn and Alabama going away, but there'll be side sports that'll go away. The current setup won't be the way that it is. It can't sustain itself the way that it is. And I want to see it the way that it is. I want female opportunities to have chances when I'm raising my 8 or 9-year-old daughter and she happens to love a sport. And I'd love for her to have the opportunity to go get her schooling paid for based off of the talent that she has. Who wouldn't? Now, if she doesn't want to do that, so be it. I'm not saying that that's the end-all, be-all of the reason that you do sports at a youth age or even up into the high school ranks. But it sure is nice to know that that opportunity's sitting out there, isn't it, Brett?
Of course it is.
Well, it's going to go away.
Well,
it just depends on when it goes away. But the current setup's not sustainable the way that it is right now.
No, absolutely not. We've all been saying that for over a year, and we knew this day was coming. It's here now. All right, up against our next break. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Alex City and west side of the lake. It's time to celebrate because the all-new Lake Martin Pizza is open with the area's best pizza, and it's just down Highway 63 South in our town. Lake Martin Pizza of Highway 63 has a huge outdoor seating area with enclosed heated comfort, a full bar with cold beer, wine, and full spirit selection with family ownership and fun for the whole family. Dine in or pick up. It's just a short drive to our town and is hands down the area's best pizza. Like us on Facebook to see upcoming live entertainment and watch sports on our 360 wraparound TVs. Rejoice! Lake Martin Pizza on Highway 63 is ready for you.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at dunningroofingal.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Let me just do a little plug for JR's real quick. They catered our little get-together last night, and chicken fingers and wings. And everybody always says, it doesn't matter where they go, man, JR's chicken fingers and wings are just phenomenal. And they are. Man, they've been phenomenal for 25-plus years for all your catering needs. And if you just want to go hang out at a place and hang out with your friends or your family and get great food, go to JR Sports Bar and Grill here in downtown Alexander City. We'll shift over and talk about here in the last 30 minutes several things. Randy, we talked about the playoff game last night. I know we want to talk about some portal things here on Auburn, maybe some updates. I know we got the commitment from Connor Gibbs, the kicker from Southern Miss, which was huge by a lot of people's mind because we've struggled this year. Alex McPherson, with his sickness, maybe being out could have possibly been looked at as something that cost us a couple games this year. poor kicking game, I think could easily be looked at Missouri and Oklahoma as causes for why those games went the way they did. So we'll keep you updated on that throughout the week coming up on our Auburn Blitz podcast. That's where we really get into the weeds on some of this stuff. We got a lot of other things to talk about this morning. But if you got a particular question about anybody that's in the portal or how somebody's doing, just send it to us on social media and we'll get to it. Randy, the playoff games today start at 11, SMU at Penn State, and then at 3:00 you got Clemson and Texas, and then you have Tennessee and Ohio State, which is the nightcap, which is the one I'm the most interested in of the games. Obviously, I'll be interested at 3:30 on what's going on in Birmingham with Auburn and Purdue, and we'll start there, and then we'll come back to the college football playoff games. But this Auburn-Purdue game looks like Janai Broome is going to play now in this game, and so it's going to be no damage from this week. They obviously feel comfortable with him getting in this game and playing.
Well, we've proven that we've got the depth that even if he does need to step away or not get quite as many minutes as we've seen so far, that I think Chaney Johnson, the way that he's playing this year, really has put himself up there in conversation for all SEC teams, Brett. And what a change that is. I mean, what's he averaging? 12, 13 points a game, 7 or 8 rebounds per game. If he got as many opportunities to score the basketball as, say, Janai, I'm not saying he's Janai, but I'm saying he's not far from him. And that's one of the top storylines, of course, for Auburn athletics this year, but it's got to be one of the top storylines in SEC basketball as a whole. 26 points, 8 rebounds the other night, only missed a couple of shots in the basketball game. A high flyer, and you can't put a mic in front of Bruce Pearl without him saying something really, really solid about the effort that Chaney Johnson gives him night in, night out, and just the way that he carries himself emotionally out there, Brett, I think is a big, big storyline this year. So glad to see Janai back, but also want to make sure that we keep plugging away on some of these other players that Auburn has, because I think we just keep getting better.
Yeah, I agree with you. As Luke's already made his run to Starbucks and Chick-fil-A and gotten back to finish out the show.
I have to tell you a story. So this is the most Mountain Brook thing that's happened to me to date. So my daughter's got a friend of hers who's 8, 9 years old, spend the night with her. And they've been begging me, go to Starbucks. I said, well, I got to do this other thing. Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A. Okay, so we go. We almost get to Starbucks. We're about to pull up into the drive-thru line. And her friend goes, I said, well, what does everybody want from Starbucks? Her friend goes, I'm going to have a strawberry acai with no inclusions and a chocolate croissant. And I said, you're going to have to go inside, and because I don't know what that stuff means. And I said, I took 4 years of French at Indian Springs, and I hadn't said croissant in my whole life. I said, I got 2 cousins that are French. I've been to France twice, never said croissant.
What nationality is in Mountain Brook?
I know. She said, so we get up there, and I mean, this is exactly how the order went down. I said, you're going to have to come inside with me. I left the Celia in the car with the car running, whatever, of course. So we come out because it's freezing up here. So we go inside and we get in line and we stand in there. And I said, now you tell that man what you told me you wanted. Because I thought it was almost like an insult. And the guy just goes, it's just a thing. Strawberry acai with no inclusions. I thought no inclusions would be something you'd want to hear from your doctor. Luke, we got your x-rays back. There are no inclusions. You know,
that was one of the latest rulings from the NCAA.
yeah. They said SEC, no inclusions.
No inclusions. Well, I'm glad you had to jump back on to talk about the Starbucks Mountain Brook store. Hey, stay with us if you can, unless you got another errand to run.
No, hey, let's do it. Y'all better hurry up and do it. I'm telling you, I get pulled around here now.
Let me jump in here on Luke real quick. Tough win this week, Luke. North Dakota State has a guy go for 40. Really nice setup for Nelson, though, and you can see that Grant Nelson still has a heart for the school that he was at before the transfer over to Alabama. Just talk about that a bit, Alabama basketball. Maybe give everybody an update, because we're talking about the Auburn-Purdue game before you came in.
I mean, look, it's one of those games that you and it was North Dakota. It wasn't even North Dakota State. I mean, I don't know which one's actually better. But
neither.
I know Grant Nelson played for North Dakota State, so he didn't play for North Dakota, but they wanted a shot for him to go back. And, it's one of the, I think Dean Smith used to do that. I remember pretty vividly that Dean Smith's North Carolina team with Pete Chilcutt, who was from Tuscaloosa, came to Tuscaloosa, and I think they played Alabama in Tuscaloosa the night before the Alabama-Auburn game in '89. I'm pretty sure they did. Anyway, I'm all for it. Again, and you say, well, you're so pro-schedule. I am, and Alabama's schedule is, I think it's ranked number 1 still. It was. I think it's right, actually maybe behind some other team that never wins a game because every team they play is better than them. But I'm also for things like this. If you have a guy from North Dakota and you're like, hey, we'll fly out there and we'll go play you all in this gym that isn't suited for the Sportplex. And, everybody was standing up against it was like the gym I played at in Indian Springs where we got rained out twice because, rain comes in, you got to put a barrel at half court. And everybody's like, we can't dribble around this thing like some kind of rodeo. But so I'm all for it. The Alabama team, though, they got some work to do. And they're good. But he's going to need to cut down on the rotation minutes for some guys, I think. And look, there's something to be said for depth, but when you have depth and everybody plays the same amount, there's some dudes on your team that need to play to get in a rhythm. And they need to play they need to know their spot. Right. And some dudes just want to know, hey, I'm the real starter. It's an ego thing, but it makes them play better. Some guys are like, hey, I don't want to start. That limelight kills me. I want to be the sixth man. And Auburn's done a great job of figuring out where they want their roster to be so far. They've played incredibly well, and they've got a nice rotation. And I think a lot of that is because a lot of the guys are returnees. Todd Pettiford's new, and some of these other guys are new, but CBM is back.
Hey, Luke, let me get the TV break. I'll let you keep going. All right, everybody stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this. Yeah, keep going.
The new owners of Stillwater's Country Club want to welcome you to play the area's premier course at Stillwater's with our new rate. Now, play for only $35 per 18 during the week and only $40 for the weekends. Stillwater's Golf is ready to give you the area's best golf experience, and many upgrades are coming, including a lighted range and course expansion. Meet the new staff and enjoy $35 per 18 Monday through Friday and $40 on the weekends. All at Stillwater's Country Club in Dadeville.
Thunderbolt Lightfoot at Oscar's Cafe on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, Alabama is looking to see you today. Now, let me tell you, they got great food. They've always had great food all these years. Now, they still got that atmosphere. They still got that service. They still cater. Let me stop right there. 15 to 415 they can handle. So give them a call today at Oscar's Highway 49 South in Dadeville. 256-825-4827.
Hillary Towers may very well be the Lake Martin area's best kept secret. An affordable senior citizens community located on Highway 22 East in Alexander City. Spacious one-bedroom units are currently available. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today for more information on the newly renovated Hillary Towers, 256-329-0552. 256-329-0552. Hillary Towers, 22 East, Alexander City.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SCC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
2025 RVs are here.
Be the first to see the latest and greatest from your favorite manufacturers and lock in special show pricing at your local Camping World. Up to 56% off new 2024 RVs during Camping World's Model Year-End Clearance. Shop clearance pricing on over 24,000 2024 RVs that must go. Take advantage of these Model Year-End prices before they're gone.
Back everyone to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Couple segments left on the show today before Justin said Luke's got to go to Whole Foods for lunch and Hot Fish Club for supper tonight. If anybody's got an order, just text it on in to Luke and he'll get it for you.
And it is funny. Like, it is funny when I walked out the door to go to Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, right? There's a big box from Harry and David. You know, those people that you get 92 catalogs from a year. And I think I bought one pair from them. They've sent me $722,000 worth of catalogs. I've gotten a pair. But anyway, there was a box from Harry and David. And I was like, who is it? I said, it's got to be Krista. Well, when we come back and Krista's like, who is this from? And it said it was from somebody and I've never heard of it, but it said it was, Merry Christmas, Luke. And I was like, I guess I'm just in Mountain Brook now. I just come home and just gifts on my door. I sort of like this. Maybe this is where all our taxes go. They're just throwing stuff at you. It's great.
Hey, let me tell you, if Alabama and Auburn just need to put flyers in the mailboxes up there for NIL, people just giving stuff away.
That's what. Well, if Ryan Williams had come to my door with a Harry and David gift basket, I would have written him a check.
Of course, right? That's just the right thing to do. All right, let's get into the Randy real quick. Finish up with Auburn, Purdue, and then we get into these playoff games today.
Well, I think Luke brought up the rotation, and that's where I was going to go before he jumped in. And Auburn's rotation seems to be changing, especially at the guard position. J.B. Pegues is not getting time.
He's horrible, by the way.
No, he can't get it going offensively, and he's got the yips or something. But the coaching staff seen that, and they've changed the minutes around. And Denver Jones and Todd Pettiford are doing a great job at the point guard position. So the worry is not that J.B. Pegues has to give you minutes unless it's just needed. So I like some of the changes that we've seen already in that time, and I do feel like that Auburn's not overthinking that rotation, whereas last year when we had some of the players that you felt like would be complaining or a little bit upset if they didn't get the amount of minutes that they had hoped for, I don't get the sense that this year that's the issue. And Ja'Kai Howard's starting to get a few more minutes, and will they be deserved moving forward? We'll see. But I like where this Auburn team is, and I'm real happy that Janai is nothing serious. But I'll say what Luke said during the break. It's kind of tough for Janai. He plays a couple of minutes in the game, doesn't really have any stats to show for, and yet he played in that basketball game, and it's going to really hurt his stat line. And he's going strong for National Player of the Year. So maybe today he'll make up some of that he lost this past game.
Yeah, we'll see how aggressive he is and actually how many minutes they decide to play him. I think a lot will be determined in the first few minutes of the game. You'll kind of get an idea from there. That game at 3:30 in Birmingham, Legacy Arena, man, that is a tough ticket. Auburn and Purdue. Alabama plays in Legacy a couple times over the last several years against really good opponents. And, Auburn and Alabama both been in an NCAA tournament in Birmingham, and then now going to be back here for a game with Purdue. All right, let's dive into these playoff games here in the last segment and a half. Start off with SMU and Penn State this morning at 11 o'clock. I mean, I'm not overly excited about it, guys.
I mean, it is what it is, and I'll shut up about it. But and take Alabama out. Wouldn't it be a lot more fun if Ole Miss were in this game? Wouldn't that be a lot more fun?
Or South Carolina or Miami.
Or practically anybody else ever. BRHS, anybody. But regardless, this is – I feel like karma may get me on this one because and I sort of feel for Penn State because everybody is killing Indiana this morning for the most part. I'm I'm thinking Penn State's got the weight of the world on their shoulders. Like, we got to go out there and kill these guys too. And SMU's, I mean, frankly, SMU's probably better than Indiana. They're more battle tested, I think. So it could be a bit of a tougher game, but it's supposed to be really cold and snowy and all that up there. By the way, I meant to say this last time I was on here. You know, we talked about, oh, I can't wait. You know, it's going to be snow. Why the hell do we want to play in the snow? Why does everybody keep saying that's so awesome? Isn't football just better? Let me tell you, give me a game in the Mercedes Domes all day rather than playing out in a snow-filled goat ranch like Penn State. I've been there. It's a goat ranch. It's fine. It's fine if you like goat ranches in snow. But, I mean, eventually, I went there and we played them in September, and it was fine. It was nice. It was a little bit hot, but not too hot. I don't want to play a playoff game in Alabama in August either. You know why? Because everybody's sweating and got mud butt. I don't want that. Let's play on a temperate climate that's pretty nice that we don't have to worry about.
Why don't you show? Why wouldn't you want to showcase the best teams in the best environment possible where there's not outside elements? Now, I know the NFL is different too. The NFL's like, crap, Miami Dolphins in Green Bay in the playoffs is like, oh, and what? I mean, they can't play in that. I mean, it's just like it's always been that way. But
it was the Dolphins and Chiefs last year. Remember, Tua Tagovailoa, they had to pick him up with those ice cones.
That's the coldest game, I think, on record, by the way, when, I mean, you're taking water out of the refrigerator. People are buying water at the concession stand, and as soon as they hand it to them, it freezes in their hand. It's like, good Lord, man.
Who wants that?
Who wants to sit out in that? And then you got a bunch of people sitting out there last night with no shirts on. I mean, that doesn't tell me you're tough. It tells me what I know you are, a buffoon. You're an idiot.
Most of them were the Indiana players. They got the clothes beat off of them.
I mean, you paid $1,000 a ticket to go watch that. I feel a little bit better about myself. I've been ripped off in my life, but that's a ripoff, buddy. You paid $1,000 for that. Randy, your take on SMU Penn State this morning?
You know, I'm one that if I were up and lived in that neck of the woods, then I would hope that my team plays better in those conditions than your team does. So, you know, I get why someone that may have grown up in Pennsylvania or, you know, West Virginia, and I'll go back to the conversation that they were having on the show last night. You know, you say, well, let's bring them into these conditions from time to time and see how they match up, because it happens in the NFL. And it's a home field advantage, to say the least, if you're matching up with an SEC school. Would it close the gap? I don't know. I don't feel like those schools outside of Ohio State from time to time is going to match up with the SEC wherever they play these games year in and year out. I mean, not from what I saw last night. Notre Dame won't.
Right.
Luke, you think Notre Dame stands a chance against Georgia?
Let me get the break, guys.
Not a chance.
And we get the break. Y'all keep this going. When we come back, we'll do our last segment. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Split Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week. Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
We'll go ahead and start back, Russ, if you're listening, so we can get this in and you just bring us in. Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Final segment here on the program, guys. Want to get to these other two playoff games that involve SEC teams. I still have to get used to looking down and seeing that Texas is a SEC team, but again, SMU Penn State this morning, Clemson, Texas at 3:00. Hey, by the way, are these games on Cinemax?
Some of them.
Oh, what? I've never in my let me just say this. This game, I was going to say, if Tennessee and Ohio State's on Cinemax tonight, which it's not, it's on ABC. No. I was going to say, but if it was, by the time that's over, you may want to go ahead and flip the channel real quick, because what's coming on after?
I would like to hear what the announcers always go, and be sure to stay tuned. Next is 60 Minutes, and they're gonna be sure to stay tuned. Next is my stepmama caught me in the shower, right here on Cinemax.
All right, I'm telling you, man. I just looked down. I thought, did I read that wrong? Is that Cinemax? Okay, so it is. That's what
Barkley was saying, Brett. Barkley kept saying, I don't want SMU in this thing. Give me Alabama or Ole Miss or somebody, because Barkley, I think he's going to be doing some of the coverage. I'm not 100% sure, but I think some of that TNT crew is going to be doing some of this coverage, and they're like, we don't want to see them. We want to see something that's interesting.
Ain't no doubt. All right, Clemson, Texas, guys. I'll go around the room real quick. Randy, I'll start with you. Texas is a 13.5-point favorite over this Clemson team.
It should be. I still think that it's an odd dynamic with what's going on at the quarterback position for Texas. Can they overcome it this year? We'll see. Luke, you think what's going to be the story? I know that there's a lot of buzz around with the quarterback position at Texas. How about next year? Both won't be back there. Do you have a guesstimate on where either one of them may end up?
I think Ewers will go pro, and it'll be Arch Manning's show. which is kind of cool. I suspect we'll see them both today. Yeah, I think Texas is going to win, but I'm going to tell you, all the people, I had that tweet about, hey, I hope the CFP committee learned about this. And a lot of people are like, well, Texas shouldn't be in either then. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. Texas didn't beat anybody. All Texas did was the best wins on Texas's resume are 2 losses to Georgia. That's the best thing on their resume, far and away. And yeah, I'm with you on that. But so I'm not sure. I really want to pick Clemson here. I want to because Clemson played Georgia too. Now they got their brains beat in first game of the year, but they knew what they had to do from that point forward. And I don't know. I just feel like Clemson sort of got that Dabo. Oh shucks, we're just little old Clemson. Nobody counting us out. We ain't got a shot. And that's the kind of stuff he uses to win.
Cade Klubnik. I mean, he can get it done. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I mean, I don't think it's just cut and dried that Texas is going to run Clemson out, but we'll see. All right, a couple minutes left, guys. Real quick, Tennessee, Ohio State. Ohio State is 7-point favorite. Real quick.
I think the weather's going to be a storyline. We'll see how Tennessee plays. Ohio State, to me, offensively is just not up to the standard that it takes to win football games. But with that weather added in and with the way that Ohio State can play on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's going to be a tough go for Tennessee. Just a really bad matchup. Tennessee deserved better than this matchup in the first round.
They did.
Should have made Indiana go back here again. Say, y'all go back here and get your butt whooped again. If we're going to put you in, you got to go prove that you can win this game. See, Tennessee going to Indiana, I like Tennessee's odds a lot better than that, and they probably deserve that. But, even though the seed would be less, ironically. But everybody seems to be picking Tennessee, so that tells me Ohio State's going to win it.
Well, all right, everybody get ready to turn on Skinamax and watch the NCAA playoffs this morning. Just said he thinks the Max thing is an ESPN handling the production and crew, but it's airing on Max. Man, we just in a different day and age. It's TNT
we gotta
Max.
watch on Christmas. Everybody's got to get Netflix to watch an NFL game. We had to get Netflix to watch Mike Tyson show his bare butt to the entire world.
That was the surprise. It wasn't the fight everybody tuned in for. It was him walking away in the locker room with no underwear.
He said, I thought this was on Cinemax.
Oh, y'all, look at this. Let me see y'all. I'll see you later. Nope. All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun this morning. We're about to sign off for TV. We'll stay on real quick to close things out on social media. But, again, thanks to everybody that joins us every single Saturday on TV, on Charter Spectrum. And we'll be back with you again next Saturday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you have a great week coming up.
Y'all finish it out. I'm dancing over here.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
If you listen carefully, you'll hear the roads of Alabama calling. And Sarah Honda has your answer. Serving you for over 40 years with one of the largest Honda and pre-owned inventories in the state and the Sarah Promise. Our best deal when you buy or trade, a 72-hour exchange policy, a no-hassle trade-in promise. Written offers are good for 7 days. And our best service promise. Our factory-certified technicians help keep your vehicle running smoothly. That's why Alabama can be yours to discover in a new vehicle from Sarah Honda in Sylacauga.
Ivy Creek Healthcare is excited to showcase their newest clinic, Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin, located conveniently near the main entrance to Stillwater's on Highway 49 South in Dadeville. Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin is an urgent care with walk-ins welcome. Whether you need lab work, x-rays, or immediate care, find comfort here at Ivy Creek Family Care of Lake Martin. Ivy Creek, here when you need us most. 256-827-5379.
As the heat of summer fades and cooler temperatures come calling, we look forward to that feeling of fall. It's the perfect time to be outdoors with family and friends and a great time to be alive. Make sure your heart is ready for the season with an appointment at the UAB Heart and Vascular Clinic at Russell Medical. I'm Dr. Kevin Sutherland, and our entire clinic is dedicated to keeping your heart healthy. We're right here in your own community and backed by the knowledge and expertise of UAB Medicine.
Make an appointment today by calling 256-234-2644 or visit uabmedicine.org/heartrussell.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.